Hey everyone, it is late at night and I'm Norman. Tonight we're gonna be nostalgic for the 1980s. Hence the sci-fi sunglasses, and I'm actually wearing one of my many Robotech t-shirts because tonight we're gonna do a full review of the Farr and Swit mixtape watches. So I've done first impressions of these pieces, but now we're really gonna dig into them. So let us begin. And in keeping with the retro 80s theme tonight, we have a blue backdrop. Nice, bright, and colorful. Here is the clear mixtape watch. And what I love about these is how the faceplate was done. As you can see, it is sort of a cassette tape design, but with the way they did the colors and kind of the subtlety of this part and the label, from a distance, it just looks like a colorful F91 style LCD watch. So even though these watches aren't subtle, the gimmick behind them is. And sometimes watches that have sort of a fun gimmick or whatever you want to call it behind them, sometimes that can be just a little bit too in your face. But I feel like these are well balanced in that regard. And Farr and Swit is a cool company. The people behind it are awesome. When I did my first impressions video, one of the co-owners was interacting with you all in the comments, and that was so cool to read. And any brand whose mission statement reads as the following: "We love the way that a quality watch has a way of capturing and collecting the most memorable of moments in our life. And for us, most of those moments coincide with our love of travel. Farr and Swit was formed out of our desire to create quality timepieces that can serve as memento of the many adventures of life, whether it's pitching investors in the boardroom or enjoying a sunset and scotch on the beach." I mean, yes, a scotch on the beach sounds absolutely brilliant. I've always assumed that the brand's name was two different people's names, potentially, but it's actually three. So this brand was founded by Adam Farr Hodge, and Drew Paetzold, and Zach Switulski. So even the "and" in the brand's name is one of the co-founders' names. Super cool. And I think it's been Adam that I've chatted with. I don't think I've had interactions with the other two co-owners, but Adam is super cool, such a nice guy. And full disclosure, I asked the brand if they had these watches out for review, and they were kind enough to give me this one and the clear one that we were just looking at. However, even if they didn't, this review would be biased, because even before seeing these watches in person, I absolutely loved them, and that's why I reached out to the brand. But now that I've seen them in person and worn them a bunch, yeah, these are super cool. They aren't as inexpensive as similar resin-only Casios that you can get, but for such a unique design, and the module that's in these is pretty cool, I feel like they're definitely a good price. Unfortunately, currently the pieces that I have are out of stock. If you like negative displays, at the time of this recording, those are available. So these watches retail for $35, or you can get both of them for $60. If you're enjoying this video so far, you should subscribe to this channel because I discuss all kinds of interesting watches that are sort of off the beaten path. Lots of vintage pieces, dressy pieces. I really like classy watches, but I also love some nostalgia and fun watches. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications, and be sure to like this video. And actually, this is the second time I've had to record this video. I went through and did the whole thing, and when I got to editing, the audio was all white noise. I thought maybe my lav mic had died, so I threw it away. And when it was long gone, I realized it was actually the adapter I have to use on that. That had gone bad. Fortunately, I had purchased it in a set of 2, and so I dug out the other mic. And it turns out this whole time I've been using the guest microphone because this is a much more substantial mic. Very interesting. Just a bit of behind the scenes there. And lastly, before we dive into the full review of these, let's discuss some of the other pieces that Farr and Swit creates, because they make some other pretty cool watches as well. They have a seaplane line. These are Thule watches. They're available in a couple different colorways. They retail for under $700. Their watches are assembled by hand in the Midwest in the USA. These watches have a Sellita SW200 movement in them. They have sapphire crystals. Some of their cases are PVD black. The case backs are exhibition. They have 100 meters of water resistance. The case size is 42 millimeters, and the lug width is 22 millimeters. There's also the Wayfinder watch, and these retail for around $400. I really like the blue and yellow colorway, and the dials on these are fun because they're basically maps for a dial. That's super cool. I like the basic hands and the Arabic indices for the even hour markers. Yeah, that blue and yellow looks really cool. There is also the Solar Chrono, and my favorite, absolutely, is the Vice 2.0 Bubblegum. These retail for around $500. And the Vice bubblegum is 100% synthwave. And it's absolutely amazing, super fun. I love that dial. That is just genius. These watches have a Seiko VS71A solar powered movement inside them with sweeping chronoseconds hand. They have sapphire crystals. They have 100 meters of water resistance. The case size is 42 millimeters. And the lug width is 22 millimeters. And they make the Mixtape watches. So apart from their faceplate and their amazingly fun colorways, these are 100% retro. I mean, look at this next to an F91W. Yeah, their thickness is on par, and the straps that they're shipped on are identical. That is amazing. And being 80s themed, one might almost say that is awesome. So these straps are very comfortable, just like the F91 straps are. We have a metal buckle on these. This blue color is amazing. This is my favorite of the two. However, I really like how sci-fi the clear one looks when you're wearing it. And the watches themselves aren't the only super fun thing about these pieces. What they ship in is amazing. This is the box that the watches arrive in. And it looks like a cassette tape in a case. On the back of the box, we have a label with some handwriting on it. Summer of '84. Even this label is filled out. Super cool. So the blue one is kind of like a black cassette, sort of. And the other one resembles the clear, the transparent cassettes that came out. Absolutely brilliant packaging. And I mentioned the module. These watches operate like an F91 would. So you can change the mode by hitting this button. We have alarm, and you can turn on the hourly chime on these, which I love, but currently have turned off. There's the stopwatch. So you can start it, stop it, and use the light to clear it. and then you're back to the time. Now if you cycle through these without stopping, now you're in the setting mode and you use the light to progress that. And use this button here to change the setting. And then we're back to normal time mode. The light on these watches is super cool. So when you push the light button at the top, there it is. And that operates different than the Casio modules that I've seen. Those ones you have to hold it in, and as soon as you let go it turns off. This one just stays on for a few seconds, and I feel like the interval that it stays on is good, and it's kind of nice to be able to just push this and have it stay on. I know with the metal G-Shock that I have up for trade, at first I was not happy with its light. That kind of does similar, but I didn't realize that it was in battery saving mode, so it didn't stay on for very long at all. As soon as I turned that off, it was great. The case back is held in place by 4 screws, and we have some branding on there. Retro. Nice. As for the specifications on these watches, the case size is 35 millimeters. The case height is 8.5 millimeters. The lug to lug is 38 millimeters. The lug width is 18 millimeters. And the water resistance is 50 meters. Alright, so of course, tonight I'm wearing my synth wavy looking SKX mod. Totally fitting for this video. Such an amazing watch. Let me take this off and I'll show you what the Mixtapes look like when you're wearing them. Here's the clear one on my 7-inch wrist. My wrist is 55 millimeters wide. They're nice and thin. And I feel like this one just looks super sci-fi. So awesome. And here's the blue one. And these watches no longer have the clear protective film on them. So the acrylic crystal is super glossy and transparent. I didn't even know that there was a protective film on there because it just completely covered the crystal so well that I just didn't even notice it. Fortunately, Farr and Swit pointed that out to me because it's much clearer without that. Yeah, these watches are just super cool. There you have it, 2 affordable, brilliant, super fun, nostalgic watches by Farr and Swit. Thanks for watching.